episode 27 of Wine After Nine podcast with your host Dionté
and Rashida,
bringing you your group chat personified.
Yes.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, guys.
I know we had a little bit of a hiatus, but we're speaking on that. Rashida, how are you, love?
I'm great. I'm refreshed. I'm rejuvenized. Rejuvenized? Is that the word?
Rejuvenated?
Rejuvenated? Oh my God. How can English fail me like that?
Please, don't ask me. I'm dyslexic.
It really failed me. But anyway, I'm relaxed. I'm at peace. I'm tanned.
Come on.
And yeah, I'm feeling good, man.
So, tell us about your holiday, honey.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, guys, if you don't know, and you don't have me on socials, you wouldn't know that I went on a cruise. It was for my auntie's 60th. We surprised at the airport. And yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I was a bit not skeptical, but I just didn't know what to expect because obviously the holidays that I've been have been different. It's not been like a cruise. Yeah. So it was just like, raw, okay, let's see how this goes. But I genuinely had a time. Like, I had a ball. It was lit. It was so much fun. But I think for me, the most fun thing of it all was like seeing my mum have so much fun. Because you know how like usually our parents are just used to just like going to Africa. Yeah. And that's literally it.
That's it.
So it's like, when would you ever, like even when my mum was telling like aunties and people she was going on a cruise, they were like, wow, like a cruise. Like it was such a big deal. But she had a time. Oh. So I think that was very nice to just watch her have so much fun. Yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, well, we're happy to hear Auntie enjoyed, honey.
Yeah, no,
that's what we live for, especially as we get older. It makes you more happy seeing your parents happy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, like, no, I'm really happy to hear that. It was well-deserved break, honey.
No, honestly, this one was just like a nice, relaxing one. Like, yeah, it was loads of fun. We went to the Caribbean. So we started off in Barbados. We flew to Barbados. Then we did St. Lucia, St. Kitts, St. Martin. And then we were at sea for 6 days, which was long. Like, at first I was like, no, sea for 6 days is calm because the ship is so big, there's so much to do. So I was like, yeah, but it's actually a bit long being at sea. It's like you look out the window and it's just water for days. Like, it's a lot.
Would you have preferred it to be more spaced out in terms of the destination stops?
100, yeah. If I could do like if they'd said to me, Rashida, come and like rejig the cruise or whatever, I would be like, start in Barbados, stay there overnight, have the whole next day there. Yeah. Then go at sea to St. Lucia. Because that was like, we'd literally get back on the ship at like 5. Yeah. And then you do what you're doing in the evening, get your food, fall asleep, wake up on a different island. But I think if they maybe let us stay in the islands like overnight, it would have been better. And it would have like...
It would have really given you a chance to explore the country or island that you're going to.
I wish I got to explore the islands a bit more. But I loved St. Kitts. 100% I'd go back to St. Kitts.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about St. Kitts. I can't lie.
Lit. People are vibes. It's just I don't know how to describe it. But as soon as I stepped on the island, there was just like an energy that it had that I really liked. And I was like, I'm coming back here 100%. Oh. Yeah, it was good.
I'm happy you had fun, girl.
Yeah, no, it was a really good trip. It was something that, it was like a once in a lifetime experience type thing. Because it's like, when would you ever think, and also I thought cruises were just for people over the age of 60.
Oh no, honey.
But they really aren't. Like,
I feel like since I got onto TikTok, it showed me that like, it's not just for pensioners. But I will say though, the pensioners of today and the pensioners back in the day are two completely different things. Yeah. Like, because I've even seen on TikTok pensioners on cruises, but it's a lit ass time. They are lit.
Time.
Like, I don't even think I'll keep up with them lit.
Honestly, like
it's their different breed now. They are not the pensioners we know from back in the day who have the fucking knitted cardigan, hunchback, walking stick. Some of them have got better bodies than us.
100. They were in the gym.
Look better than us. They are a different kind of breed.
I was shocked at how like they were. And one of my favourite things I found on this cruise was that there was a lot of older black women on the cruise. Yeah. That were like in their 60s and they were just like, I'm living my life. Like, that's literally the advice that we got from everyone that we spoke to. Live your life. Like, we spoke to one older Nigerian woman. I think she was 65. She looked about 40. She was like, I go to the gym every day. We went to the gym and literally everyone was in that gym. Like, they just literally like have a time. We spoke to so many people. Like, we spoke to a couple and they were like, yeah, like, from when we retired, we were just like, fuck it, we're traveling the world. And they go everywhere. They'd already been on that cruise ship for a week. Because in total, it was a 3-week cruise, but we got on the second week. They'd done all the Caribbean islands. They were like, we are having a time. Like, you'd go to the club in there and they would be dancing. It was lit.
As much as I love to joke about, like, oh God, I'm getting old. No. But I cannot wait for retirement. No,
they sold it to me. I'm not gosh. They sold it to me.
I cannot wait for retirement. All of the other people I know who've retired, they've lived their best lives.
Yeah.
And, like, I've always heard people who are older than me always say, like, oh, your true happiness comes, like, in your 50s and 60s.
Yep.
But I never used to understand why. But I fully get it. Because retirement, you're truly done with working. Like, you never have to worry about this shit again. You just have to worry about living your days well as possible.
Literally.
Fam, I loved it. Even when my dad retired, and I'll see him every day and I'll be like, I'm so jealous.
No, honestly, they're chilling.
Yeah, even when you ask what you did today, oh, I did nothing, but I wanted to do nothing today.
Yeah, they love it.
Or like, but tomorrow I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Or like, they travel. That's why they're like that. They mainly travel bad.
Yeah. Because they've got all the money that they've worked for.
And the time.
So they're just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, we're just going to travel. Because who's going to just sit in the UK the whole time?
Yeah.
They literally have so much fun. And my favourite people that we met on that cruise, we met this couple. So we were like, they have a club in there. So we're in there, we're dancing on the dance floor. They're playing, like, they had this live band that would come and play music from, like, every generation. So they were playing music in there. We're having a time. We bumped into this couple on the dance floor, danced with them the whole night. They were literally like, we're in our 70s. And they were like, we literally wake up every day. We start drinking from midday. We just get shit-faced. And then we come to this place in the evening.
Yeah.
And they have a time. We would literally link them in that place and dance with them all night. But loved them. We were doing shots with them. Yeah. They were lit.
People like that, yeah, like, I really admire people like that. Yeah. Who, you can tell they've been like that from young. And, like, they never lost their essence, regardless of whatever they've been through in their life to get up to that point. Like, they still stay true to themselves. That's why they could enjoy. Like,
exactly.
They fully let themselves go.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that for them.
No, honestly, I loved that couple down. Like, they were literally, they were just so much fun. They would dance with us and they were like, we love you guys. Because they were like, some people on the ship were a bit like, doing their own, like, they weren't as open as them, but they were just like, we have come on this ship to have a good time, and they literally have had a good time all throughout their life. And I just love that was my favourite thing to see on that cruise, like the older people just having enjoying a good time themselves. And I loved seeing the aunties, like the older black women, because they were having so much fun, and they would literally say to us, like, girls, you need to live your life.
Yes,
you need to live your life. They were like, one of the women was like, if there's one piece of advice that I can give you, she was like, live your life and don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. Like, do it exactly how you want to do it. Don't listen to anyone else.
100%. You see, people, your life does not end at 30, at 40. It really you doesn't. Have a whole life. Like, this thing with society about, oh my God, you're 30.
No,
you're just 40.
I feel like even at 40.
You're so old. Why are you still doing that at your big age?
Yeah.
Doing what? Like, you see, I'm sure you've even seen him on TikTok. That white uncle who goes to, like, Afrobeats concert.
Love it.
Like, I saw some comments where they were like, you're really doing this at your big age.
No.
Yeah. There's no expiry date for enjoyment,
There's no expiry date for enjoyment.
There's no expiry date.
Nope.
Okay? The only expiry date will be your death date.
Exactly.
There is no expiry date. People, who was it even? I even think my friend's mum told me. And she was like, as long as you... No, it was my mum. Sorry, mum. Like, told me that, like, as long as you still have breath in your lungs, you still have life.
Exactly.
So live it.
So live it and enjoy it, yeah.
But if you're really that type of person who thinks your life stops at a certain age, you will never truly live life.
You won't.
But
you have to put all that behind you.
Yeah.
And people will try to bring you down and be like, oh yeah, you're big age, this is what you're doing. It's like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm having fun. I'm living my life.
Right.
Because it's your memories that you are left with. And I think of that all the time. But in your hardest of times in life, it's your memories of things and things that you've done that get you through it. Well, that's me anyway.
That's life. That's how everyone should view life. Because at the end of the day, we are all going to become a memory.
Yeah.
So just make as many as possible.
Exactly, yeah.
So that when you do leave this earth, there's so much that your loved ones could look back on.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, well done for enjoying.
Yeah, no.
I'm happy you got a good holiday out of it.
I would advise everyone to book a cruise. Maybe not the cruise line that I went with, but I would advise everyone to go on a cruise.
I definitely want to do it, though.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, they've got everything on that ship. And I love the fact that on the sea days, you would just wake up and you'd be like, oh, I can go to the cinema today because I had a cinema on there. Or I could just go chill by the pool and read my book. Or I can go and get food because the food is just accessible. I ate. So the only thing I didn't eat on that ship was the captain. I swear to Dionté, I ate everything I could eat on that ship. I ate it. I hate.
Listen, all inclusive. One thing about me, even if my belly's up to here, I'm going to.
Fam, I ate. We would go to eat in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night.
Yeah,
anytime you turn, there's food accessible. Oh, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was lit.
That's why even from now on, unless the country doesn't do all inclusive, I'm always going to get all inclusive.
Yeah, 100%.
It's worth the price for me.
It is, and your food is there. That's the one thing that is always the main struggle when you go on holiday. Like, what am I going to eat?
Mm-hmm.
And when it's just there for you to eat,
you don't have to worry about nothing.
Don't have to worry, man. And if you want to go out and eat, you can do it. But at least you know you're always going to get your breakfast and you're always going to get dinner.
Literally.
Bam, you're done. You're sorted.
Nah. Honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but like, especially now that I'm 30, I can only do luxury when it comes to holidays now. Like, you see how we used to do, like, when we were young, and we used to do the cheapest holiday.
Oh, we'll do 3-star hotel. 3-star. Oh, yeah, no, we can't because we're never going to be there.
Exactly. We're just going to sleep here anyway.
Yeah, we just need to sleep, man. And after we're going to go out the whole time. No, sorry, now I'm not doing it.
I need the luxury. Yeah, I need the suites.
Yeah.
I need all inclusive.
Yeah.
I need something that shows that, like, okay, it's a bit luxurious. Yeah. I can't do the saving your money.
No, I don't do that anymore.
You're there cramped. I can't do it. Like, I can't stomach it anymore.
No.
So that's why my holidays now, if I genuinely cannot afford to do luxury, I'm not going.
We used to do like loads of holidays in the year.
Yeah.
Because we'll just be like, yeah, it's calm like any hotel. But now, like, they've slowed down. Like, I'm happy to do like 1 or 2 big ones a year, knowing that we've got the money, we can get a nice hotel, nice resort, nice whatever, rather than doing these quick little, where you just stay in like a shit hotel.
Literally.
Because back then we didn't care, man.
We didn't care. But I think it's just life, innit? Like,
yeah, you have to.
At the time, why should you care?
Exactly. You just wanted to be
teens,
away.
early 20s. Do you get what I mean? Like, now we have a bit more standard to us. Do you get what I mean? Like, our standards have raised.
Yeah. I just can't wait for the holidays when we're proper earning big bucks.
Fact,
yeah. Big bucks holiday when you're like, yeah, we're making money now. Let's go on a proper, like, you know when you see the movies of like Sex and the City or like Girlfriend, when they would go to places because they had money. They had
the money.
Yeah, that's the ones that I cannot wait for.
Honestly. And it will come in Jesus' name. That's why blow us up, guys, so that we can make that dream a reality.
We're trying to do
and we'll take you along.
Man. Honestly, and get the content. But what's been going on?
Yes.
Away.
So to get right into the episode, I think we should definitely talk about Adolescence on Netflix.
Oh yes.
So for those who don't know, Adolescence, to put it blatantly, is basically about a child who's been accused of murdering a schoolmate of his, and basically shows the entire interaction of the legal process. So from the moment that he gets arrested in his home right up until the end. So I don't want to give you too much away in case you haven't seen it, but we basically follow that whole process of like being booked in, being charged, the parents, things like that. Like, we get to see the perspective of everything. And it caused a lot of a stir within social media. And I was quite shocked about the mixed reviews. I don't know, because I saw some people, for those who have watched it, who were like, this is very informative, like, this needs to be played at schools. I loved it. And then there's other people who were like, I couldn't get into it. Like, I didn't like the ending, couldn't get into it, so it was dead. But obviously, now that I've explained everything, Rashida, what did you think of the show?
Okay, so obviously I'm away now, and I was very kind of purposely not trying to see what was going on in London because I just wanted my peace. But I saw Adolescence, and actually my sister was watching it whilst we were there. So I was seeing what people were saying about it on socials. So I was like, okay, cool. As soon as I get back, this is the first thing that I need to watch. Okay, okay. I personally don't think it was the cinematic masterpiece that people made it out to be.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't love it. But I think, okay, so I've got like, I kind of have to that top.
Okay, so why,
my thought
explain
process.
why didn't you love it like that?
I don't know if it's because I was going off of what people were saying. So maybe I went in with too much of a big expectation. But there were times when I did get a bit lost and I found it slow. But I think it was an intentional decision on their part. One thing I would say is I think the camera work was sick. Like the way they would just cut from scene to scene and follow the camera. Like my favourite thing, I think there was a scene when Asha D was walking through Asha D, as we know him.
Yeah.
I know people
Asha D,
I'm talking about
Deshane for the young bucks.
Crew, yeah? I'm even going from before Deshane. I'm
literally so solid. But I'm saying for the new bucks, it's Deshane. But for the millennials, Asha D.
Yeah. So there was a scene when basically I think he was walking through with the police officer he was with, and then I think there was another person walking through, and they literally like showed them go through the door. Then they just turned the camera to follow it, and I was like, this is sick. I think I was trying to think of it in terms of like the decisions that they made. I think there was a lot of unanswered questions I had at the end, and I think it was simply because the camera just followed. It didn't show what was going on elsewhere. If it was like they hadn't done that, because I wanted to see like what Asha D was thinking, and I wanted to see like the police side of things, and then I wanted to see Jamie in jail, and then I wanted to see what was happening here in the school, what the friends thought in school, and then like there was that whole thing with the black girl being really upset, and then we just never saw her again. And so I think there's a lot of things that for me felt lost. Yeah. But I think that's because of the way they chose to do the camera thing. But I think in terms of what it was about and what they spoke about, I think it was very necessary. I do wish they went into it a bit more. I do still think it was a bit surface level. I think there's a lot more they could have unpacked within it. But then, I don't know. I guess it's probably, it would just be so much to get into. But I think it's very important what they've highlighted. Yeah. I thought the boy that played Jamie was really good. That was his first time acting. I've seen mixed reviews of his acting, but I think he did well. First time, I think he was really good.
Look, fam, even veterans won't do acting the way he did.
I think the acting was really good. I think he was really good.
He was amazing. Yeah. And people who are saying that, are the same people who were saying, spoiler alert, are the same people who were saying that, in the first episode, I believed him. I believed him that he didn't do it.
Nah, I knew from the jump he didn't do it, man.
So many people were like, I genuinely thought he didn't do it.
No, he was really good in that episode.
But this is what I'm saying. Yeah. So if there's bare people who were convinced he didn't do it in the first episode, clearly his acting must have been good to convince you. Do you get what I mean? But honestly, there's some parts I actually agree with you. I personally really enjoyed it.
It was good, but
the thing I agree with you with is, I think it would have been beneficial to even just dedicate an episode to other perspectives. Yeah. But the only perspective that I really wanted to see is the family of the girl who passed. Like, if they dedicated episode 3 to her family and like showing that in one episode, what they went through, finding out their daughter died, when the police came and informed them, making funeral arrangements, hearing updates of the case, how do they react? If they did that in season 3, instead of focusing the whole episode of the psychologist talking to Jamie, I think it would have been more impactful. However, I do think the purpose of the show was to follow Jamie.
That's what I was going to say.
Do you get what I mean? Like Jamie and his family and what kids who think like Jamie, when they get caught, the effects it has on everyone around them. Yeah. So because of that, I let it go because, I understand it's not meant to be focused on anyone else. Yeah. It's purely supposed to be focused on Jamie. Yeah. The camera angles, the fact that like, what did they say? They never cut clips. It was just one continuous...
That's what
I'm saying.
Sick. Yeah.
So, like, it was just one continuous shot.
So good.
Type thing. I think they said the only time when, like, they added a bit of a clip was when the boy was jumping out of the school window.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only time, because it was hard to obviously climb out with a camera to go chase him.
Yeah.
So just that bit of him being in the classroom and then seeing him out was a bit of like
even that
AI
thing, having to run with the no, that was mad.
Yeah, like I love the fact of how, like you said earlier, how intentional they were.
Yeah.
In terms of the story, I not only loved Jamie, the dad's acting. Oh my god!
That last episode.
Even from the beginning.
Incredible.
Even from the beginning, like
yeah.
What I liked about him and why I think he's an amazing actor, you can feel and read every single emotion this man's going through without him saying nothing.
Actor.
Like you see when Jamie was getting searched by the police and the camera was on the dad.
Yeah.
Strip search, sorry.
Oh, yes.
By the police. Yeah. And like the dad, it was just focused on the dad's face. Yeah. He did not say one word, but I felt every single emotion he was feeling, confusion, anger, sad. Like I saw it in his face. I loved the dad is the one who stole the show. Did you see in
real life that he's mixed race? He's Jamaican.
But is he okay? Can we actually settle this once and for all? I'm so sorry if you hate me, but I'll take the L in it. Fam, people love to do this thing, yeah, where like if someone looks white, they'll be like, "Oh, he's mixed race." He's 25% black.
Oh, is he only 25%?
His dad is mixed.
Oh, his dad.
But like, I don't like it when people are like, you have one mixed parent and then you're like, I'm half black. You're not half.
Oh, he's 20. I thought his dad was like.
No, his granddad.
Like, he's not.
Because even when he talks about it, he's like, my granddad was a fully black man.
Oh wow.
His dad, was it his dad or mum? I can't remember. Was mixed and then the other one white. Okay, that's why he looks like that. But like, there's bare people like that who look white and they'll be like, I'm half black. You're not half black. You're quarter black. You can say I've got black in me, but for you to be like, I'm half black, you know, you're not.
Just randomly.
And that's okay.
There's this running joke on Twitter of people basically saying like, I don't want to be the grandmother to kids that are gonna have to fight and show pictures of me to prove they're black.
Yeah,
and that's what that reminds me of. It's my granddad. I can show you a picture. He's black.
No, I'm so sorry, but I would hate that as well. Like, you're trying to be black so bad. But
that's going to be such a thing for the next generation. I'm telling you, there's going to be white kids in class being like, no, my granddad is actually black.
Do you know what made me laugh as well?
That's going to be
on TikTok, yeah. Some guy was even like, kind of what you were saying, and said that very soon, if not now, we're going to start having white people called Oluwatobi.
No, I'm telling you.
Adiola. All of these.
We're going to have my granddad.
Literally, and you'll be like, Adiola, and you just see a white blonde boy with blue eyes like, yeah. Wouldn't that be crazy though?
But that's what it's going to get to.
That would be crazy. I could never imagine that. Me being in school.
I know, yeah. Back in the day,
it was like black or white.
Yeah.
And like there was a few mixed people, but it's not like how it is now. Yeah, do you get what I mean? But it was majority of the time, a lot of people's parents were the same race.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, everyone's mixed up. Even within the black community, an African would be of a Caribbean or things like that.
Oh, it's going to be so mixed up.
It's going to be so mixed up.
Even for me, because I'm already half and half. Mm-hmm. So if I now have a kid with someone that's like half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, they're going to be Nigerian,
quarter,
Ugandan.
And then you have to teach them all of these
it's just,
cultures.
It's going to be so like,
It's going to be a lot.
Things are changing.
But, sorry, to go back on Adolescence.
Sorry,
To go back to Adolescence, outside of like whether we enjoyed it or not, it really scares me of the younger generation's thought process.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them think like Jamie.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice it when I watched it at the time, but when I was like looking at comments and stuff, people were like, yeah, this is really common. It's happening in schools. Schools are writing to parents at home saying that your child said this and this today, degrading things against women, all of that. And it really hit me because obviously I don't have children and all of that. we're not in the loop like that when it comes to like children. So I didn't think it was to that magnitude how many kids genuinely think like Jamie.
Yeah.
But I think it was still a good show to, number one, show the parents what your children are doing.
Yeah.
And like I even like the fact that they put like codes for like the slangs that they use, or like this emoji means this, dad. This emoji, I did not know.
I had no clue.
I was like, huh?
I didn't have the foggiest. So I was speechless.
I was like, what the hell is that? And usually I'm clued up to things like that.
That's just showing that we don't actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
I was speechless. When my sister was explaining to me, because she was like, she watched interview of someone basically and they were explaining it and she was like, yeah, that's how they actually do it. And I was like, oh, they could have gone more in because they didn't really even say it. She was like, no, those emojis is literally how they do it.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
But also, I think another takeaway I took from it, and this was probably the main takeaway, and I hope other parents see it, children can be so manipulative.
Yes.
They have a manipulative side that parents and other adults refuse to see. Like, people are so quick to be like, oh, but they're a child, they don't know anything.
They know.
This is a 13-year-old boy and he's killed a girl because she rejected him.
Oh, that's
the
so
fuck?
scary.
Now she can't live her whole life. She can't go get married, have kids, go to uni, have a career.
Even
she can't
go to her prom. She didn't even get to
go to her prom. Exactly. Fam, did she even have her first kiss yet?
No.
All of this, like, you've deprived someone of that just because you couldn't take criticism. And I feel like a lot of parents needed that eye opener because I feel like there's so many parents who are in denial about their children. Some of your children are demons, I'm sorry to say. Not every child is an innocent, positive angel who just comes into this earth and is just with the fairy. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like, because we have to remember we're bringing them into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So you can try and shield them and coddle them as much as possible, but they have influences like the Andrew Tates and all of that at their beck and call.
Yeah.
Literally any time of day, they can have access to that. So now, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. All of these boy mums who love to say, boys will be boys. And no, not my boy. I love my boy. Look at what your boys are doing. These are going to be members of society, you know. And this is how they're thinking already. Fam, will there even be women left at this point in like 20 years if that's how majority of them think? They'll just kill every woman that rejects them. Like, it's like we're going backwards in terms of even feminism and how far women have come. And it's like we're going backwards because now again, there's a new wave that's going on again of people not respecting women.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, Jamie frustrated the hell out of me because you see the first episode.
Yeah.
And he asked for his dad.
Yeah.
And his dad didn't know shit. But his mum knew everything.
That's a good point. I didn't clock onto that.
Yeah, so I clocked onto that.
Oh my gosh, I just thought he wanted his dad because it's his dad. But now that you're saying that's a really good point. That might have been an intentional writing choice.
There's so many intentional things that are in there. I think it's one of those shows that you need to watch more than once.
Yeah, I was going to... At first I don't think I'll watch it again. But now you said that, I think
you need to watch it more than once because I clocked it when I watched the first episode. But by the last episode, I realised... he asked for his dad because he doesn't respect women.
Yeah.
So I would rather take my dad who knows nothing about me than to get a woman, even though she's my mum, in there to support me. No woman's going to save me. Yeah. This is a man's job.
Yes.
And you can see, because even when he would have conversations, or I think it was even in the last episode, and he called the dad to say that I'm changing my plea.
Yeah.
He hardly spoke to his mum and sister. He was just speaking to his dad. That's when it hit me that, like, he asked for his dad because he doesn't respect women.
And also, because he didn't know that they were there, but his energy completely changed when they were like, oh, yeah, like, your mum's here. He was like, oh, like, I thought it was just you type thing. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
So, I think it was very informative. And I also loved the ending when his parents were talking in their bedroom and were like, where did we go wrong? And they were trying to pinpoint where they went wrong. And I feel like that's a very vulnerable conversation that every parent should have with each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even just where did we go wrong, but having conversations when you see something that's a bit off with your child in their behavior, to have those conversations. Okay, he's behaving like this. Where do you think he got it from?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because you get a bit angry. Okay, maybe when I'm around him, I'll try my best not to be that angry. Or you have to have these type of conversations consistently because your children are watching you every single day. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of parents who think that they're raising a baby, but you're raising a human being.
Yeah.
That baby is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. Like, in each stage, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of parents, they're just like, well, if they've passed the baby stage and they're still alive, then I've done my job.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be lax anymore when it comes to children. But I think it was very good to show for both sides, even for the children, like, raw. My man killed someone.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or even if they thought about doing it, they're like, this is what you go through.
Yes.
They run into your house. They run into your house in the middle of the night and push your mum and sister down and all of this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So overall, I took it as more of like an educational, informative type show instead of entertainment, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So I feel like, and I that's what I liked about it, because I like things that are out the box. It's not too conventional.
Yeah.
So I liked the fact that it was more based on informing the world than entertaining. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. I get your point. Now that you've said it like that, I get it. But to go back to 2 points that you've made, so the first one about like seeing the girl's side, I can't remember her name. Was it Kelly? I can't remember.
I can't remember the name. I only remember Jamie. Yeah,
I can't remember what her name was, but I think her having an episode, because I had that thought as well, and I was like, I would have loved to see like her family and the process of what they went through. I was actually talking about it with my sister before I left, and then she was saying, but the story, it wasn't her story they were telling, it was Jamie's story, and that was the focus of it. And I think it really needed to focus on him and why he was like that. Yeah. So then, because I think even the director did an interview and he was like, we were very intentional that it was Jamie's story that we wanted to tell. Yeah. And that was like the forefront of everything. So it makes sense why we didn't see anything from her side. And I think, oh no, she was talking about why, because even it kind of goes off what they said. I think there was a line when the female police officer was like, oh, I'm so annoyed that in all of this it's all about him. And then Ashley was like, no, like we're trying to get justice for her family. She was like, no, but it's still all about him. Yeah, people and I think that's a very true point. And it happens even in society now. Even when women are killed, it still somehow becomes about the man, like, oh, he did this and this was his life and he was troubled and he did this. I remember there was a woman that was killed. It was like, oh, he had had an argument with his wife that morning, so he drove down to London and he did this. And the person that is killed, the women, their story's lost along the way. So I think that was a very intentional choice, which I think was quite a good thing. Yeah. And also, I think the last episode, I get why they showed the whole, I think, again, it goes back to my thing with it just being one camera shot, which I still think was sick, but like when we saw them driving and them talking about, oh, do you remember this song back in the day? It was just like, oh, okay. I wish that episode kind of just focused on the conversation that the parents had, because I think that was so important. And I think it highlights this fact of, as a parent, you can do everything, but you don't know what outside influence your kids have. Yeah. And you are never going to, you can't know, because your kid could be so good at home. Jamie could have been so good at home. And then when he leaves, he's going online, he's taking in all this content, women are rejecting him. And also, like, I think it also highlighted that he did also get his anger from his dad. Yeah. Because his dad was quite angry. So that could be where he got his vibe. Because even in the episode with the therapist, which was a lot as well, but it was good, when he was literally like, that's when I got to this thing that he hates women. Because you know when he was like in her face, he was like, oh, go on then, you're going to call them to come and save you, you think you're a princess, yeah? I was like, what the hell?
What happened to episode 1?
Honestly, but this is how these men, and I think he also made a point as well, he was like, I want that other therapist who was a man. He was like, why is he not coming back? And she was like, oh, he doesn't ask me them questions. Why are you asking me them questions? And he would like flip. He would like be so good.
That's
but then
what
he would flip and be like, oh, come on, like, who do you think you are? You can't tell me to do anything.
And then be like, I'm sorry. It was really scary. That was bad of me.
It was scary.
But that's the true manipulation of certain children.
Exactly, yeah.
They know who to do that stuff with. because it's true, that back and forth was insane.
It was mad, yeah.
But I actually think the psychologist did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Because obviously with the story, and I'm sure with her research, she knew that there's a possibility he doesn't like women.
Yeah.
So let me go in there and see how he acts with me. But although I felt like that episode was a bit long-winded.
Yeah, it was. I felt like they could have gone deeper as well. It
was still so impactful. Because I personally feel like they didn't need to go deeper in episode 3. Because I feel like everything that they talked about, what else was there to say?
True.
Because she was there to determine if he was, what was it? If he was capable to stand trial. Like, if he was mentally capable to... Because she's a forensic psychologist, I think.
Right.
So she... Even the way she was asking questions, like, it was so tactical and I loved it.
Yeah.
Or, like, she'll make comments to see his response. Like,
yeah.
Even at the end when she was like, okay, I'm not going to see you anymore, all of this. I just got from it that she's got her information.
Yeah.
This boy was capable.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. He understands right from wrong. All of this. That's why even when he would have outbursts and say, oh, sorry, I was wrong. Stuff like that, she's making mental notes on because it's like, okay, so he does understand right from wrong. Okay. Things like that. Even when she was asking him, like, do you understand the concept of death type thing?
Yeah.
So then after the thing, and she was like, okay, I'm done. It just shows that you did that shit. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You did that shit. I don't need to continue to talk to you.
Yeah.
I've got what I need. I'm a professional at this. You did it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't need to see you again. So I feel like, I just feel like there was nothing more to add to that scene. But I feel like they should personally make a season 2, but the girl who passed away's version.
Oh, okay.
So then we can get all of the missing pieces that we didn't get.
Yeah, I wanted to know what happened with the friend as well, the one that ran away.
Well, what else was there to be at the friend?
Did he give him the knife? Oh, it was his knife, innit?
It was his knife.
Oh yeah,
he got arrested.
Yeah, actually.
I swear they mentioned it in the show
said
that
he was going to go to trial. Yeah, but he had to stay at home, and then Jamie had to go to jail. Already, there was nothing else.
And then on top of that, because even I'm just a bit slow. Because at the end I was like, "Where's the trial?" And then it was only my brother who was like, "He's changing his plea." So I said, "Oh yeah."
Oh, what? So if he changes, I'm not good at stuff.
So basically, you only get a trial if you're pleading not guilty because you're fighting your case.
Oh,
so if you're accepting guilt,
of course.
So if you're accepting guilt, that's it, innit? You're just waiting for sentencing.
So you're just waiting for sentencing.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Because even after it cut out, I was like, "That's it. Where's the trial?" And then I remembered, he's changing his plea.
Yeah.
So
I had that. I was like, no trial, no. Like,
but
makes sense.
Yeah. So then he changed. Whereas, like, if we get season 2 of the girl's side, we can actually see the sentencing, how much he gets,
how that would,
all of that. Like, because as much as I definitely do appreciate that we saw his family side, because sometimes I think it's very easy when you see reports and stuff of like someone who's murdered or whatever, and you look at their family and you're understandably you're hating them the same way you hate the person who committed the crime, but you don't actually realise a lot of these family members are innocent in this and they're unaware of what is going on. It's only when stuff like this arises is when they realise, fuck, what the... So I also like that aspect that they showed that even family members can be innocent.
Yeah.
Not every family member knows.
Not everyone knows,
their other family members doing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I really do like that perspective, but I would also really would like an in-depth perspective of the family of the victim to see what they go through, like how they deal with grief as well as trying to get justice. Because dealing with grief alone is horrible. So I can't even imagine to have to deal with getting the person responsible for their death and getting justice on top of that. Like, I can't imagine going through that. Like, I would love to be a fly on the wall of that process for them and how they deal with it. And like, if they see their daughter's friends, for example, how do they act with them? Are they still going to have some type of relationship, or is it gonna go? Like, is it gonna fade? I really want to know.
Yeah.
So if they could do like a season 2 of the victim's perspective, even I would love to know, like, to see the lead up, like the real relationship that them two had.
Yeah, because that was
school,
very
day to
sketchy
day.
as well, because they didn't really ever determine whether they were friends.
Yeah.
That was all very wishy-washy, so I couldn't... And he never really gave anything when he was being questioned as well, so we didn't really know. But I guess they just wanted to highlight that he didn't respect women, and basically the fact that she rejected him, he was just like, yeah, you've got to go, which is how a lot of men think.
Yeah.
It's really
and
scary.
The only difference is that because he's a child, his impulses will be more severe than an adult. Whereas like now, there's still adults just like him. They will just shout abuse at you or do stuff to you. Like, I even have a friend, she rejected one guy at one club and he keyed her car. Yeah. I said, there is no way. Whose car are you keying?
What the fuck is going on?
Whose car are you keying? Because I promise you now, not mine.
But it's scary because it's even getting to a point as women that if a guy moves to you and you're not on it, you have to really carefully... This is not to say that all men are like that, no, but it's just like almost like a survival instinct within us now that we have to be so careful about it. Because it's like...
But it's always been
like that.
us.
You can get banged in the face, you can...
It's always been like that though. We've always had to look over our shoulder or let people down gently because not all, but majority of us have had bad experiences with men with rejection.
Yeah,
or
with a fragile ego.
Either men
can't just take it.
Who hate rejection, or they just won't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Like, you will tell them no and they will continue following you. Things like that. Like, teach your children no means no. And start from early. And it doesn't have to be about, like, if you have a son, it doesn't have to be no means no with women. With everything. Even if you, as a mom, you say no, and they're still trying, you say no, no means no. You have to use that motto, like, everywhere. Now it's made me super paranoid, I can't lie.
It was really scary.
It's scary.
And I think I like the fact they did it as school children, because all I could think about was Eliane, the girl that was killed in Croydon, because she was a school kid. And I just remember how shocked I was at that happening. Mm-hmm. And then I realised that this thing of men hating women is going down to these kids in school. They're probably even the ones that are taking in that content the most. Yeah. And content creators really, I don't think they fully realise how much influence they have. Yeah. Because sometimes as well, even with us, you'll see numbers of like views, but you don't realise these are actual people. Yeah. It's not just numbers. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, you could see the figure and you're like, but because you're recording and it's like just you two or whatever, you don't see the impact live. So yeah, we have to really be careful in what we say as well, because you don't know who's listening and who will take it wrong from what you're saying. But for me, overall, I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think I'd give it like a 7, 6, 7. I think it was a very important conversation that needed to be had. What do you think about it being shown in schools? Because I've seen mixed reviews on that. I've seen some people that are just like, oh, come on, man. Like, I've seen really mixed reviews, which I was quite surprised at, because I thought people would be like, yeah. No. And I'm not surprised at all, because there's so many parents who are like that. I don't want to expose my children to anything and do that. And this is how serial killers are made. This is what people need to actually some parents need to face the reality of situations. And things. And just see, you know what, this is out there, and I need to educate my kids that this is not a way to do this is not a way to do that. But then again, I don't want to say defense, but you don't know the content that your kids are taking in either. It's like how, I think you made a point when you were saying that family members will not know and they're innocent in the situation, which is what it seemed like that conversation. That's why I think that last episode was very important. Yeah. Them sitting down, trying to figure out where did we go wrong here, realising there's nothing else we could have done as parents. This is obviously something that's come from the outside. He was talking about how his friend, it happens from school. Yeah. There's things that it's never been that extreme, but there's things that our parents have told us, and we've gone to school and we've met kids who are raised completely different. That's the thing with school. You go to kids, you meet all types of people. With kids that are raised so differently from how you are raised. And I was watching EastEnders yesterday, And basically, I'm catching up on these senders at the moment.
Mhm.
And basically, there was an episode where one of the characters, Avani, went to... So they all bunked school. I don't know why the kids in EastEnders never go to school, yeah? But
They
are never in school.
They're always in the uniform, but never in
don't ever
school.
go to school. It's so ridiculous. So anyway, they go to school now. So it's Avani, she's Asian, and then it was Lily and Amy. And they're 2 white kids. So they skip school, and Avani's mum finds her in the cab. But basically, because Lily's Martin's daughter... So she's obviously grieving. They're like, yeah, we want to do something nice for you. So she's like, let's bunk school. So like, you can just have a fun day. Let's go to London Eye. Let's do it big, yeah? So like, yeah, come, we'll bunk school. So Avani's mum catches her in the end and she's like, oh, why are you not in school? And she's like, oh, mum, I just bunked school. And then she's like, okay, go home, change your uniform. And I'm not going to say nothing about it. Whereas the other 2 were like, oh, and they were like, you're so lucky. Your mum's like, just lets you bunk school, lets you do anything, da-da-da. And I was saying to my mum yesterday, and... my friends that I was watching with, and I was like, when I was a kid and I saw kids like Avani in school where their parents didn't care about certain things, I wanted to be them so bad.
So bad.
I was like, I want to have a mum that doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
That is just like, lets me do anything. And you went to school with kids like that.
Yeah.
And most of them ended up going on paths of like,
paths
or getting lost or getting into all sorts of things.
Mate.
So it's like, you don't know who your kid... My point is basically, you don't know who your kids go to school with. Because, for example, like Amy and Lily... were the good kids, essentially. They don't bunk school. They've had, like, you know, their parents are strict. Yeah. But they see these kids and they're like, I want to be like that. So they start hiding. We all did things that our parents didn't know. Like, we would go to school and be like, yeah, let's just do this. Yeah. Da-da-da. But you'd be like, shook. You'd be like, oh, shit, I need to hide this from mum. Da-da-da. So that's how you just pick these little habits. And then when you do things like that, your parents are like, why did you do this? I would never raise you to do this. And it's like, it's the kids you go to school with. It's things that you see.
Exactly.
So it's like...
That's the thing. It's
I think
the outside.
it takes a village, really. That's why they say that.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
The outside world really is the one that raises your children.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
it really is.
Yes, there's certain things that fall on the parents.
Yeah.
But like you said, because even if you, let's say for example, you put child lock on the websites, like any inappropriate websites and stuff, you put child lock. Or what's it called? Not child lock. Whatever. You put that thing in it. Even if you block it from your household, their friend, like you said, could have a mum who doesn't care.
Yeah.
And when they're at their friend's house...
come to my house, we'll watch it.
And you're watching it. Like, so it's inevitable, but I think as well, it's just very important to really talk to your children.
Yes.
I think, and to be fair, it's actually... I sympathise with parents because, especially with the cost of living in the UK and that, like, you're so busy trying to provide for your children and keep a roof over their heads that you're either too exhausted or don't have the time
to parent
that every day. So because of that, that's what gives kids the leeway to do whatever you want. Like, even like the latchkey kids growing up. Do you know what latchkey is?
Explain it to me. I think I know
the ones who didn't have a babysitter, their moms would just leave them and tell them lock the door.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big thing
back in the day
when we were younger. Yeah. Like, there'll even be times that I was a latchkey kid, they'll be like, just don't open the door for anyone.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whatever. Like, I don't know. I just feel... I understand that we're trying to move away from, like, traditional parenting and all of that because... a lot of us were affected by it. Yeah. But I still think that there's a lot of value in old school parenting. Yes. You just have to pick what works for your child type thing. I don't think we should go so extreme where it's like, well, my parents are strict, so I'm just not going to be strict at all. Every child needs guidance. Yeah, they need. So you not being a strict parent, that means they're lacking guidance because you're just letting them do what they want and raise themselves. Are they Tarzan? Yeah, literally. Like, fam! You brought these kids on earth.
Yeah, it is true.
It's now down to you to make that effort. Like, and at the end of the day, you are the adult. They are the child. Yeah. You have to lead by example. So you sitting there waiting for your child to come to you to tell you about their day when you've never made a comfortable environment for them to come and talk to you is insanity. If you know you haven't talked to your child like that, or you don't really know that much about your child, have those days, like if you're cooking dinner, for example, tell your child to come to the kitchen. How was your day? what do you like to do?
Yeah,
What do you like to do
and
for fun?
those
Really-
conversations go a long way for kids.
Yes, like really get to know your children, because I feel like that's vital. I feel like
They feel the rejection. A prime example of that, going back to Adolescence, was the relationship Asher D had with his son. Look how happy his son was when he was like, let's just go and get fish and chips. And then they were talking in the car and he's like, oh, so you're learning French, yeah? And he was like showing off the like literally sometimes kids, all they want is for you to ask them, how's this?
show that you care.
Give them attention. Like when you give a kid attention, they love it. And I've done a lot of like nannying over the years, and just spending time with the kids. Like obviously the parents have to work, like they've got no choice but to do it. So they get so attached to their nannies because it's the nanny. Like I would ask, like I used to sit with the kids I would look after and ask them about their day, and they would love it. Literally. And their parents would come home and be like, how was your day? Then they would repeat it. They're like, Mommy, we did this, and you can see the joy in them. That is all they want.
But it's so easy to make a child happy, but it's us as adults that complicate it.
Yeah.
Well, you think like, oh, well, how do you think you eat? How do you think you have a bed? How do you think? Okay, yes, you brought that child into this world. They didn't have a choice to come to this world. Yeah. It's your responsibility. Are you really asking for your children to praise the bare minimum?
Yeah.
That child didn't be asked to be born on this earth. Literally. That was your decision.
Literally.
And if you want to make that decision, you have to know what comes with it. Yeah. Like, but all of this expectation, it's like adults put expectation on kids, and it's like, well, if they're not coming to me, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
They're not coming to you because you've never gone to them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So it's really just getting to know your child on a personal level, not just a child I gave birth to and lives at the house.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, me, when I have my children, that's why, like, I hope I keep this promise to myself, but I really want to be the dining table family.
Yes.
Like, no phones.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Dinner at the table. How was your day?
Yeah.
What was the highlight? What was the downfall?
Yeah.
How can we help you with the downfall?
Yeah.
How can we help you have an even better day? Yeah. All of this, like, because then at least we have no choice but to speak to each other. Yeah. We've forced ourselves into this situation of sitting down together. Now we have to talk.
Yeah. And
then at least that way, you know that you've set aside time to spend time with your family, even if it's just for dinner.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? But obviously, I'm not a mother, so I can't speak too harshly, but yeah, overall good.